engaged through our marketing team. We're really interested in doing events where we get one-to-one FaceTime with clients to have 25-minute conversations, as well as doing an intimate dinner in the evening with 10 or so people. And we had a breakfast seminar this morning. It's a great way to have engaging conversations, not just one-to-one, but as a bit of a community for people to share ideas, concerns, a bit of thought leadership, and we had some guest speakers come in as well to represent the business and share some of the challenges they had with the audience, which was great. Yeah, I think you've got a blend here, right? So you've got, within the audience groups, you're always going to end up with dominant talkers, which is great, and some key themes, but I think every business is completely different. People are at a different stage of maturity with technology, they have different business pains and objectives, and sometimes those are more comfortable in a one-to-one. I think the 25-minute format as well keeps things to a good pace. I don't think it becomes awkward if you haven't got a synergy. You can end early, and if you do, you can. We had one this morning from yesterday where we kind of ran out of time yesterday, and we did a follow-up this morning for an hour. So you can get extra time with each other, and you can kind of work out if you're a good fit quite quickly, but in a nice, respectful way as well. It's very informal, it's casual, it's a nice environment, and easy to have conversations in. Less and less if you pick the right event, right? You can have some that are really broad. I think it depends on the stakeholder group. As we mentioned here with the Visions one, it's really targeted at the infrastructure and security leadership. So you're getting the right type of audience for the message and the people you want to bring and connect with. So you're going to have less likelihood that there's a mismatch. Whereas if, coming back to your question about what type of events are probably less valuable to us, your generic trade show where it's a catch-all for a whole industry, you can have a very specific message and content that doesn't really land with 90% of the audience. So for us, we're trying to avoid those type of broad trade shows and focus on these more intimate settings where you can come to a cool venue. It was really good fun last night doing the tour, but also you get to network with the people you met in the day and talk about things as you're going around the England rugby changing rooms. It's pretty cool. It's a different way of doing it, but it also helps you foster the start of a relationship. We've had a couple where, one in particular for us, we met yesterday, they came to dinner last night, and we had a follow-up with them this morning, and we've got a meeting booked in 2 weeks. So, already that's been a great way of showing some immediate value, talking through some ideas of what we can do next, and booking in a follow-up. It's kind of the dream scenario for us as a vendor, really. So beginning of the event, or engagement-wise, I think the pre-prep was really good as well. So even before we got here, really good preparation in terms of who are we, what do we do, who do we think we're a fit for, and then Quartz have done a good job of matching the same for the delegates back into us. So I think actually the pre-work of aligning us to the right one-to-ones is quite important. I always think that's a challenge if I was on the other side of the fence as a CIO. I'd want my time to be respected. If I've got specific asks and then I'm put in front of a vendor that doesn't really match with, you lose credibility as an event organizer for that, right? So I think they've done a really good job of, we haven't had one meeting where it feels like it's a complete misalignment. Maybe somewhere when, more of a need than others right then, but I think all the meetings have been valuable and we've had a good conversation along the way. So I think, our time's definitely been really well respected. It's been well run. I think even coming in, having the setup done, the prep sheets that we were given from the team around who we're meeting, and then the booklet around everyone's objectives, interests, and the kind of feedback from the delegates and the pre-meeting work is really solid. Probably better than we've seen from other ones as well. So I'd give Quartz a big thumbs up for that. Yeah, really good. I think well prepared, very clear. They've matched us with the right types of meetings. They've run a good event. I'd say regular check-ins throughout the day to make sure that we as a partner have been happy and have been well fulfilled. So I think all round, just really solid management. Management of the event itself, as well as the pre-prep and the post-prep. And I think that's why you've probably got a good quality of people have come to it. We've had really quality meetings, and I think that's probably because people have either been through it before or heard about it from other people and had their time respected, and that's why they would come again. So yeah, all round, really well done.